The Chance or the Dance by Thomas Howard. Dumb title. One of the greatest books I've ever read. This is the book that C.S. Lewis would have written if he'd lived a little longer and was a little smarter. And that is not to insult C.S. Lewis. It's to tell you the magnificence. I had to read this book with a dictionary. In the 1960s, Thomas Howard witnessed a shift in our nation, a change of what he calls a moral center, where we get our morals, where we get our sense of rightness and truth. He writes the book in the 1960s, and he anticipates today as if he were reading the newspaper today. He is describing a shift away from believing that truth and goodness are something to be discovered outside of ourselves, that there's a righteous path woven into the fabric of the world, and that when we find it and make it our own, we receive the blessings of God and true happiness. Here, the individual has to wake up to God. He has to learn the dance that God has given us to discover how to live well in His world. He gave us a dance to master, and it involves serving others and being transformed into the likeness of Christ. This was the foundation of Western civilization, imperfectly lived out for most of the history of Western civilization. And he watched as we shifted away from that sense of reality and truth to a belief that there is no creator worth knowing, no order in the world worth discovering, that we live in a world without purpose and meaning, and that truth is personal. It's found inside ourselves. It's found inside ourselves by stripping away the external expectations of society and becoming morally autonomous. That basically means nobody's the boss of me. I do as I please. I answer to myself. I answer to my own heart. And how dare you try and bring correction into my life? That we are self-created masterpieces, and we live only to satisfy our own desires. Here in this world, we are in an ugly chrysalis. And the chrysalis that's containing us, that's that ugly little container that holds a butterfly. As if the world around us is this ugly, disgusting chrysalis. And that if we could only strip away everything that the world around us is putting on us, all of its restraints, its morals, its ethics, all of its values, all of its truth claims, if we could only get rid of all of that and find ourselves inside ourselves, that we could finally emerge as this beautiful butterfly. The only problem is that what is in us is the 7 deadly sins run amok. And that when we get rid of all that out there, there is nothing left in here worth living by. But still, it's their hope. No morals, no ethics, no values. By the way, a value is what means more to you than your feelings. You cannot claim Christian values if you allow antichrist feelings to dominate your life. Your values are what matters more to you than your feelings. So if we can burn our own lives down by disparaging marriage, aborting our children, divorcing our spouses, denouncing our parents and siblings, dissolving all the boundaries around sexual behavior and gender, and there's a phrase that you might have heard of late, unburdening ourselves from that which has burdened us all. That utopia will somehow emerge from the ashes of a civilization that we have burned to the ground in order to discover our true, beautiful selves and pursue our own happiness. So which is it? Do we live in a world of chance where each person needs to follow their feelings to the creation of a new self without regard for what others need, want, or demand from us? Or do we live in an ordered world in which we must wake up to the Creator, master the dance that He has given us to learn, discover his path of life, curb our selfishness so that we can make that path our own. Not white-knuckling it, living someone else's reality, but taking that which God has laid out for us to know and to discover and loving it until it becomes us, until we walk it naturally through the power of his Holy Spirit. Which is it? The chance? Are we in a world of chance? Are we in a world in which there is a dance that we've been called to master by our Creator? In the world of chance, our emotions are our guides. Our hearts lead us. The pursuit of our own happiness is our mission. In the world of the divine dance, our emotions and passions must be sublimated. That means conquered and put down. Emotions are awesome. Emotions are the spice of life, but you never want your emotions to be calling the shots. Let emotions make life feel good, but never let them control what you do. So in a world of the divine dance, our emotions and passions must be submitted, sublimated to God's mission. And happiness comes to us as if by accident while we're busy with more noble pursuits. If you like what you're hearing today, please subscribe below, and don't forget to share it on as many platforms as you can, and tell your friends to watch. Thank you.